What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Today, what do we have for you? Well, guess what? We have a gas grill review. Surprise, surprise. As much as you're sick of watching them, I'm sick of shooting them. So no, I'm just kidding. Let's get into this video. This is a Coyote S-Class gas grill. Let's talk about it. So like I said, this is the Coyote S-Class series. They do have a C-Class, which is a downgraded model. We'll give you a review of that as well. I was kind of teasing in the intro because I've made a point before to let you guys know that the gas grill market is really saturated and flooded. And this is a great product that we want to talk to you about, but it is very similar to some of the other stuff that's out there on the market. And so we'll do some side-by-side comparisons as well if you want to check out some of those in the links to tell you what's similar between Coyote and other brands. But right now we're going to focus exclusively on this Coyote gas grill. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It helps out our channel a ton when you do that. If you're enjoying this video, just gives us a thumbs up. Helps out our channel a ton when you guys do that. So again, like we mentioned, this is the S-Class series. It is available in 3 different sizes. This is the middle size, a 36 inch. So it comes as a 30, 36, and a 42. So you can get it in 3 sizes. You can get it as a built-in or a cart model. What's nice is if you need the built-in model, you just buy that. And if you need a cart, you buy the built-in plus the cart. So it's not one SKU over the other. If you want to do a cart and then later on build it in, you always could do that, which is pretty cool. And so again, this is the upgraded model compared to the C-Class, which again, we'll do a description in there. Let's start at the bottom of the grill. Let me show you these casters down here. They do seem pretty solid. I know just wheeling the grill around, it definitely is nice and smooth. And these look like they're gonna hold up pretty good. So if you're in an area where you know, you need to move it around a lot, I think those casters will do a pretty good job for you. And then again, it's all 304 stainless, but sometimes what happens with these high-end gas grill models is they are so focused on the head, because most of the time it's built into an outdoor kitchen, that the cart is sort of an afterthought. So if you need a cart, you're getting a very basic cart. This one's not bad, but it does have some nice features. I do like this extra shelf in here. You have a divider, and then especially if you're on propane, this is of course a very handy feature. And then the storage drawers are soft close. So it's definitely an upgrade from some of the carts that I've seen in the high-end category, which is pretty nice. And this is our drip liner, so this is gonna pull out here. So that just slides in and out. Again, that's nice. So now let's go to our side shelves. So it does come with side shelves. Nothing fancy here as far as side burners or anything like that. But they're either completely removable if you want to just pop them off entirely, or, come on Brian, I'm trying to shoot a video here. It's like these guys think this showroom is for actually working, not shooting videos all day, but just pops on and off like that. And then what's really cool is if you come to the back of the grill here, we'll talk about this in a minute, but the rotisserie kit has a holder for it. Now this is really nice because the majority of the time you probably won't be using a rotisserie kit. And so it's nice to be able to just tuck this away and store it. And you could put these forks underneath the grill if you wanted to, and then your rotisserie motors on the outside here. Last thing we want to mention on the exterior of the grill is going to be the temperature gauge. So you do get a control here. It's not super detailed, it's low, medium, high. It tells us 3, 450, 800, basically all the main points you'd have to pay attention to. And then a nice 304 stainless hood, nice wrap sides. Like most other gas grills, it's pretty attractive. But now let's get under the hood, because this is where this grill can sort of differentiate itself a little bit. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, a lot of these grills, there's a lot of overlap and there's stuff that's so similar. There's a couple things that the S-Class has that sort of make it a little more unique, I should say, and make it stand out up against the rest. So you can see we have our warming rack here. So that is removable if you wanted to remove that here. And then our infrared burner is right here. So this is ceramic infrared with its own igniter. Now again, this we're gonna use for our rotisserie kit. And then, cool little side note, you do get a little smoker box. That's kind of nice and handy from time to time. If you ever need that, they do throw that in for you. and then you get these nice 304 solid cooking grates. You know, very similar to other brands. Nothing special to write home about, but not the worst either. So definitely heavy duty, gonna last you a while. But one of the cool things is I'll show you this. Let me grab this over here. This is an upgrade. So these are their, I forget what they call these stupid things, some sort of diagonal flat grate, something like that. Nah, that's not what they're called. But these would sit in here like this. So you have an option to do as an upgrade, so you can sort of see them side by side. I don't know that one's necessarily better than the other. I suppose with this diagonal concept, if you're laying veggies this way or something, it's gonna help with things falling through. And then also with the thicker grates, I suppose you wouldn't have as much, or you'd have more surface area, I should say. So probably for better searing, this would work pretty good. Okay, so the next thing is underneath the cooking grates are these ceramic briquettes. You probably have heard me talk about these in a lot of other videos. These are sort of polarizing because I'd say half the people out there like them, half the people that out there hate them. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on what you think of these. Let me tell you the concept of these, and then I'll tell you what I actually think of them. So the idea is these are gonna all sit over your burners, and the idea is they help reduce flare-ups, and they're gonna help evenly distribute heat. So no matter where you place your food on the grill, you're gonna have even heat all the way across, and not hot spots where the burner is. And they do work. And you can see they're sort of hollowed out on the backside. What that is, that just helps even more with the heat distribution. And then what is nice is when you're done, these ceramic briquettes are stuck in here. You can always flip these over, and then that'd be how you clean it. You turn all your burners on high, it'll clean everything right off. That's how they work in theory. Now, I'm personally am not the biggest fan of these because there's a caveat with them. What can happen is if you get too much grease on the top of these and you're not really diligent about keeping the top of this clean all the time, and let's say you're cooking at really, really high heat to sear a steak or something, all that old grease that's sitting right here, it's just basically it's a pile up for grease. And so if you're using these in high heats, you have to be a little bit careful because they really only work when these are perfectly spotless. And so what I recommend doing is if you have some high heat gloves or some good tongs or something like that, after every cook, if you're doing these, just flip them over, let them burn off for a good 5 or 10 minutes. That will help ensure it, but it's sort of a good bad thing because I do think they work. They definitely do a great job. It just sort of creates an extra step for the consumer. Unless you're really good about grilling, you basically have an extra step at the end of each cook. Not a huge deal, but they definitely do what they're supposed to, that's for sure. Okay, now let's look at our burner configuration here. So here's where the grill kind of differentiates itself too with these burners, because they're, one, a higher BTU burner, and they're more spread out, so they're bigger and wider. So that's gonna help with heat distribution. So when the fire's coming out of here, it's a higher BTU output. So they're definitely superiors. For example, one of our best-selling grills is Blaze, the Blaze LTE series. Doesn't have a burner this good. So we're gonna do a side-by-side and show you these versus the Blaze in a future video. So here's the burners. We'll turn them on for you too so you can see what they're looking like. And then what else is nice is you sort of have this lid or this lip. Now that's gonna help protect these throughout the years as you get buildup. It's sort of a little hood for your jets. And then you probably have noticed the last thing here is this setup comes equipped with the infrared side burner. So that's a standard feature. So again, that's pretty cool because that's an add-on with a lot of other manufacturers. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is gonna do is gonna allow for high heat, like true restaurant quality searing. So really gonna use that for steak or seafood. You wanna sear some tuna, something like that. You're gonna get 1200 degrees really, really easy. And that's also why many people wonder, why is this not over this? Because this is so darn hot that it's gonna literally just incinerate all the grease. Like it takes care of itself with flare-ups. It doesn't need anything over it because it's just that cool. So that's what that is. So that's the combination you get. You can't order it any other way. You're always gonna get one infrared and then the rest, what they call their infinity burners. Just looking at the tub itself, nothing really to write home about here. Again, just that everything's gonna sort of drip into the middle, right into our grease pan on the bottom. One thing I don't see, which honestly is not a huge problem because it doesn't happen a lot, is I don't see any matchlet options. So let's say your igniters aren't working, you can't really drop a match in. Of course, if you have a torch or anything like that, you can just torch it and it'll probably light on fire. No, don't do that. So we'll caution there. Don't listen to everything I say, that's for sure. One thing we forgot to mention aesthetically is the lights. So you do get interior and exterior lighting. They're controlled on the same button, so you can't control them independently. So yeah, here's the exterior lights. You just press this button, nice and bright, lights up your knobs here. And again, just to go over our burners. So we have our infrared burner with its self-spark here. Then we're gonna have our rear rotisserie burner. So those are our 2 burners here. And then our 3 infinity burners, which are our main cooking burners in the actual grid. Okay, so let's show you these burners. So let's get this baby fired up here. Let's get in there as close as you can with the camera for the... So you can see we have basically the full oval all the way around on the exterior and the interior. So you can see that's where those BTUs are coming from, and you can see we're getting nice wide, and you know that that's going to create even heat distribution. So pretty sweet feature. I definitely like these burners a lot. One of my favorite features about this grill. So that's the S series by Coyote. Again, this is their highest model lineup in the series. Again, don't forget to mention in the description below, we'll include links if you want to purchase any of these products. If you're in the Denver metro area and come down to our showroom, see these products in person today. But yeah, this is the S series by Coyote. Don't forget, we'll also include descriptions in the link below. If you want to check out any of our other barbecue comparisons, make sure to browse our channel and subscribe. Thanks so much, guys.